Welcome to the Furniture Industry News Podcast for Friday, May 2nd, 2025. If you're in the furniture business, whether you're managing a showroom, designing layouts, handling logistics, or anywhere in between, this is your quick conversational rundown of what's shaping the industry. Let's start with a story that's shaking up retail workforces across the country. A new survey shows that 76% of retail workers are currently looking to change careers. That's more than 3 out of 4 people working on the retail floor or behind the service desk who are actively thinking about leaving the industry altogether. The top reasons? Burnout, lack of growth opportunities, low pay, and the search for better work-life balance. For furniture retailers, this is a red flag. Whether you run a small local store or manage a larger chain, retaining good employees is getting tougher. The shift in worker expectations means companies need to rethink how they support their teams. Flexibility is becoming a priority. Retailers that can offer adaptable hours, consistent training, and paths for advancement are more likely to keep employees around. And with so many people open to change, the furniture industry has a real opportunity here. If you're hiring, this could also be a moment to attract top talent looking to make a move, especially if you offer better conditions than the average retailer. Now, if you're wondering how to adapt to these workforce changes and still grow, some solid advice came out of High Point Market recently. A panel of industry leaders discussed how to thrive instead of just survive in today's retail world. Their number one takeaway? Embrace change. From the rise of digital shopping to shifting consumer habits, the retail landscape isn't what it used to be, and trying to hold on to old models may do more harm than good. Panelists talked about the importance of staying nimble. One example? Retailers are rethinking their in-store experience. Instead of cramming showrooms with inventory, many are focusing on curated vignettes, lifestyle storytelling, and digital tools that let customers visualize pieces in their homes. They're using AI to help predict what customers will want next, and tapping into social media not just for marketing, but for customer service and feedback. The message is simple. If your strategy looks the same as it did 5 years ago, it's probably time to reassess. Speaking of rethinking retail, Walmart is giving us a peek into what their future looks like, and it might just inspire changes in the furniture world too. Their new Store of the Future in Cypress, Texas, is a tech-forward supercenter that mixes innovation with experience. This store has digital shelf tags that update in real time, QR codes that give customers extra product info, and interactive displays throughout. But that's not all. There's also an in-house tortilla maker, a sushi bar, and a grab-and-go prepared food section that actually feels curated, not cookie-cutter. Why does this matter to the furniture industry? Because Walmart is showing how brick-and-mortar can still thrive, if it evolves. They're blending convenience with a sense of experience, and furniture retailers can take a page from that playbook. Imagine using QR codes on furniture tags to show care instructions, dimensions, and style guides, or having interactive tools in-store that let customers design a room on a screen right next to the sofa they're looking at. These types of ideas could go a long way in making furniture stores more dynamic and engaging. On the digital side of things, Wayfair just released its Q1 earnings, and while they're not booming, there are signs of improvement. Wayfair's revenue grew 1.6% in the US, and while they still posted a net loss of $113 million, they did manage to improve their gross profit margin to just over 30%. That's a big deal. It shows the company is focusing on tightening up operations and being more efficient. They're also seeing higher average order values, which is good news for online furniture retailers in general. So, what can furniture professionals take from Wayfair's report? First, the e-commerce space is stabilizing after the post-COVID slump, but customers are more careful with spending. That means value, service, and clarity around shipping and returns are all more important than ever. Second, profitability is about more than just volume. Streamlining operations, whether that means consolidating warehouses, improving delivery times, or cutting low-margin items, can make a real impact on the bottom line. On the flip side of the earnings conversation, Sleep Number is facing some headwinds. Their Q1 sales dropped 16% year over year. That's a pretty steep decline, and the company attributes it to weaker traffic and a lower store count. New CEO Linda Findley is making big moves to right the ship. She's cutting corporate management roles by 21%, and Sleep Number is aiming to reduce its operating expenses by as much as $100 million. What's interesting here is that Sleep Number is shifting focus toward the customer experience. They're looking to modernize their tech and improve in-store interactions. It's a reminder that even in the mattress category, which tends to be pretty slow-moving, innovation still matters. Brands can't just sit on past success. If you're a bedding retailer or supplier, it's worth paying attention to how major players are navigating the current climate. Meanwhile, over at Haverty's, the news is a bit more upbeat. The company saw a bump in Q1 earnings, with sales slightly up compared to last year. Gross margins improved to 61.2%, and they're staying cautious but optimistic about the year ahead. One thing that stood out from their earnings call was how focused they are on tariffs. With ongoing uncertainty around trade policies, Haverty's is carefully managing inventory sourcing and shipping routes to stay ahead of any potential cost increases. They're also adjusting their capital expenditure plans for the rest of the year. Instead of aggressive expansion, they're being strategic, investing in targeted store remodels, bundles, and technology upgrades that improve efficiency. For other retailers, that kind of cautious, focused investment might be the smart play for 2025. So, as we wrap up today's episode, the big themes are clear. Retail workers are looking for change, and that means employers need to evolve. Retail strategy is moving fast, from store experience to tech integration, and those who embrace that change are the ones positioned to grow. Whether you're inspired by Walmart's Superstore or taking notes from Wayfair's path to profitability, there's no shortage of lessons to apply. And through it all, keeping a sharp eye on expenses, tariffs, and operational efficiency is what's helping companies like Haverty's stay resilient. Thanks for tuning in to Furniture Industry News. If you find this podcast useful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates. We'll be back next week with more news and insights to keep you informed and ahead of the curve in the world of furniture retail. See you then.